radiant light of God. I shine the light of love. I am the radiant light of God. I shine the light of love. When I stumble, I live by the light of my faith, shining both night and day. Shining both night and day. I am the radiant light of God. I shine the light of joy. I am the radiant light of God. I shine the light of joy. When I see your face, I see God's light, guiding you on your way. Guiding you on your way. I am the radiant light of God. I shine the light of love. I am the radiant light of God. I shine the light of love. With conviction so sound, I know that now is the time to pray. Now is the time to pray, to be the radiant light of God. Shine the light of love. To be the radiant light of God. To shine the light of love. Shine the light of love. I got a question for you now. Everybody, won't you shine your light? Well, I got a yes. Everybody, won't you shine your light? Oh yeah. Oh people, won't you shine your light? Ooh, I feel a lot of light shining this morning. Connie, hey, won't you shine your light? Kailua, won't you shine your light? Honolulu, won't you shine your light? Ooh, I think everybody's shining their lights this morning. You are the radiant light of God. You shine your light of love. We are the radiant light of God. We shine the light of love. Shine the light of love. Shine the light of love. Shine that light of love. Thank you, Radiant Lights.
I have not always told the truth. I know you're shocked. Just shocked. Aren't you, Daniel? I have not always told the truth. Once. Okay. Twice. Okay. On multiple occasions. I have said that there's a spark of divinity in me. A spark of divinity in me. The truth is, the divinity in me is a big, bright, radiant light. Now, how many times have we not told the truth? Did you feel very good about that? You didn't. You felt kind of yucky, huh? And you told the truth. How did you feel after you told the truth? You felt great. So it's time to tell the truth of what we are. We are bright, radiant lights. One of the master teachers, Jesus, says it very nice. Starts off the discussion in John. I have a locked book. By saying, I am the world's light. No one follows me stumbles. No one who follows me stumbles around in the darkness. I provide plenty of light to live in. Now, the understanding is that the truth that is in that light in Jesus, in every spiritual leader, in every master teacher, that same light is in you and I. You see, we're all the same. The truth in me is the truth of you. Yet it's being uniquely expressed differently. See, we're all the same, yet uniquely different. Look around at the most beautiful godlets you can see. Look around you. These beautiful radiant lights all around you. That is the light. And not only does the light radiate from us, it also shows us the way. I grew up in the coast of Maine. I grew up in Rockland, Maine, a town of about 8,000 people where they knew you and they knew your parents. I tried to get a mohawk. I did have hair at one time. I can show you a picture. I carry it with me just for proof. I went down to Uncle, what was his name? Well, he was the neighbor, but he was the barber shop. And I went in, I asked him, said, I'd like to have a mohawk, please. And he looked at me and said, I'll be right back. Went into his office. Well, he went home and called Mother. Well, he came out and said, well, the mohawk isn't going to be happening and you need to go home and speak to your mother. Well, it was about a mile straight up the street from his barber shop. And it was the longest walk ever. So I didn't ever get the real mohawk, but I lovingly, genetically got the horizontal mohawk. Well, so there you go. But living on the coast of Maine, I grew up pulling lobster traps, being a lobsterman, jigging for mackerel. Didn't like mackerel. I used to catch a 5-gallon bucket in less than an hour and give it to the Down East diner. They thought it was great. They were getting fish for free. And Maine, if you don't know, is known for the rock-bound coast. There isn't many beach. There are some beaches, but there's not many of them. And there's been quite a few shipwrecks over the period of time. And they're also known for lighthouses. So this light that is us, our divine light, not only radiates from us, but it also shows us the way, like a lighthouse. Many times I had friends who fished up in the North Atlantic, in the Grand Banks. And the lighthouses along the coast, and especially mine, is a big harbor with a mile-long breakwater. And that lighthouse brought them home safe. On many occasions off Spruce Head Island where I was lobstering, we'd be out 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6 miles out, and the fog would roll in. And the Spruce Head light showed us the way home. I'm grateful for the lighthouse. I'm grateful for the light in me that shows me the way as well. Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, talks about light in the Revealing Word. He says, light is a symbol of wisdom. When Jesus said, I am the light of the world, in John 8:12, he meant that he was the expresser of truth in all aspects. We talk about the divine purpose every Sunday. We affirm that we're here for a divine and holy purpose. That purpose is to express the truth. The truth that we are divine lights, that we are divine in every way. It is what we are being lovingly and uniquely expressed by who we are. Our purpose, and it doesn't matter what you do. You don't need to be a minister or a chaplain or a licensed teacher. You could be a plumber or a bus driver. It could be anything, but you want to do what your gifts are, whatever they are, but you do it from your divine nature. You express from your divine nature for the love of God. Loving God in all that we do. That is our purpose. That is why we're here. To express the divine light that is us. The what of us. Being lovingly and so uniquely, beautifully expressed by the who of us. In Matthew, Jesus gives us a rather clear, as a matter of fact, undoubtedly clear, mission according to the light. These Bible verses are from the Message version, by the way. It's a little bit more common language, so to speak. Here's another way to put it. You're here to be light. You're here to be light, bringing out the God colors in the world. God is not a secret to be kept. We're going public with this, as public as a city on a hill. If I make you light bearers, you don't think I'm going to hide you under a bucket, do you? I'm putting you on a light stand. I'm putting you on a light stand. Now that, I put you there on a hilltop, on a light stand, shine. Shine. Pretty clear directive. We are to shine. More often than not, we don't. We don't shine. Why? Have you ever thought of why we don't shine? I thought of that quite often. Marianne Williamson, wonderful author, says it this way. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. We're not afraid of falling down. We'll get right back up. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us. This is where ego gets a bad rap. Ego gets a bad rap. Ego is from Latin. It means self, small s. The divine that is us is self, capital S. Remember, what we are is self, capital S, being expressed by self, small s. Ego also means human nature. But we give it a bad rap, and this is why. Because it gets in the way. When Levitt thinks Levitt knows best and starts expressing from Levitt, you know what? It's wildly entertaining for each of you to watch, but it really is miserable for Levitt. Yet Levitt will smile and keep on being Levitt, expressing Levitt. Has anybody else had that same experience? When you're not happy, you're miserable? It's because we are expressing from our human nature, not from a divine nature. Human nature will get all puffed up and say, I'm big, I know what to do, I know better than God. You betcha, look at me. You betcha, I can puff around. And yet when we stop and take a breath, and we go home to that place where all that is, where we are one, then we know the truth, and that light begins to emerge and show us the way. Merrill Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, speaks of light in saying the light is within you. And as you learn to look within, you become radiant, because light is a quality of mind, and its essence is finding outlets through you and through me. When we look for our happiness or our good outside of us, that's coming from our human nature. Got to have stuff. I'm happy if I have that nice new car. I'm happy if I buy that house. I'm happy if I have this job. And those things provide happiness, but it's fleeting. We find ourselves the happiness goes away, then we find something else. And then we end up having all the stuff, the relationships, the job, all that stuff has us. The material stuff has us. And we're miserable. Yet we stay right in that because we're not willing to step out. Give up the good life for the good of life. Then give up the good of life to the great life. Then give up the great life for the greater life. Each and every step we make, we are supposed to move forward in this journey. And yet we look outside of us. The truth is, folks, as you know, you've heard this 1,000 times, I bet, it's an inside job. It's an inside job, folks. If you want something created on the outside, you create that inside you first. You call it forth in you because it's in you already. Your divine nature, you don't take off like a shirt and say, I don't think I'll be divine. My divine nature with me. I think I'll leave it in the closet. Yeah, it's hot out. I don't want to wear that divine coat today. I think I'll leave it in the closet. Folks, where you cross the street, guess what's over there waiting for you? Your divine nature. It goes wherever you go. It goes wherever you, and some people argue that we're always expressing it, even if the behavior is undivine-like. Daniel and I have had some wonderful discussions. And that's also, he's fabulous in setting the example of asking the questions, because it's those questions that we ask that lead us to be. The questions and answers that we get. And all the answers are within you. We are in tune to divine mind. There's nothing we don't know. We're not aware of it yet. Hoorah. That's my new favorite word, by the way. So we look inside us for what we already need. It's there. Call it forth. We find the good, the peace, the love, the happiness inside us, and then that light shines. It gets more radiant. Then out it looks for ways to shine out as you. You might volunteer here at the church. You might do some public service at another organization. You might random acts of kindness. Do you know if you smile at somebody walking down the street, do you have any idea the impact that has on them? It's a great story. It's a classic. Girl was going home with a bunch of books. A young girl. I think she was in grade school or high school or junior high. Bunch of books, and she stumbled. And this fella, friend, neighbor, picked the books up for her and helped her in the house. That changed her life because she was going to go home that night with all of the books, put everything nice and neat up in her room, and take her own life. Yet this one act, and you may think, what's a smile to somebody? What's a how you doing to someone? Can change their life. That changed that girl's life. And it's because that light was shining from that fellow. And he did what he was led to do. Are we willing to follow our light? And in following the light, we achieve what I call the joy of living, which is also known as the kingdom of heaven. It's an inside job. Through prayer and meditation, we call forth in us what is already there, all we need to live the life we're meant to live. Melda Shanklin is my favorite Unity writer, and she wrote my favorite book, which I highly recommend, called What Are You? And she says, in God you live and move and have your being. In you, God lives and moves and must be given expression. This is ego's good rap. Before, when ego was in our human nature, we're following our human nature. That's what some people have called easing God out. When we use our ego, remember, ego is our human nature, is the expressor of our divine nature, right? You with me? Kind of? What we are is divine nature. Who we are is human nature. That expresses the divine. I must say, incredibly pretty as me. But this is ego. This is expressing God only. Ego is just human nature, yet it could be easing God out or expressing God only. That choice is up to you and me. The divine in us is meant to be expressed as us. Again, that's when we express the divine in us, we are going to experience the joy of living. Whether there's nothing, I think Jesus said to the disciples, or anybody who would listen, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and there's nothing else. I think the human part of him said, Jesus, if I don't say everything else comes along, then nobody will follow me. But there is nothing else, because there is nothing other than that. We have needs because we think we have needs. But when we experience the joy of living by expressing our divine nature, there are no needs. All of our heart's desires come true, and our dreams are fulfilled. We are, each and every one of us is a cog in the gearing of the universe. The universe needs us to express our divine nature for it to work fully. In the universe that we call God, we are the stars. And when we do this individually, we individually have a great life, the joy of living. We can also do it as a community. When we do this together as one, it grows. Marianne Williamson again says, as we let our light shine, we consciously give other people permission to do the same. Sounds like Jesus. Didn't he set the example of living it? So are we. We're way showers as well. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence actually liberates others. Our presence grows. People want to have some of that. You're happy. You're smiling all the time. Life is good. There are no worries. There are no cares. And people say, I want some of that. What are you on? I'm on God. People ask me, I want to be more like you. I chuckle and go, oh my gosh, can you imagine more than one Levitt? No thanks. And I chuckle and say, well, thank you. And you actually want to be more like you. Remember, the divine that is me is the divine that is each and every one of you. This isn't a secret. We make this incredibly difficult. It's simple. It's simple. Your divine nature goes wherever you go, express from there, and life is good. Express from human nature, I'll let you be the judge of that. We get in the way. Easing God out, ego gets in the way. Expressing God only is the way to go. And how do we do this? Well, we're in unity, so we've got to have affirmations of truth. And an intention. We're going to set an intention. When we say affirmations of truth over and over, when we fill our minds with the truth, there's no room for anything else. There's no room for untruth. This is the one I use. I'm a simple man. Most of you know that. And I think it's simple. This is what I use every morning I wake up. I also have a personal affirmation that includes this, but I am divine. I am divine. You fill your mind with that, and that is what you become. Remember, thinking. What are thoughts? Thoughts held in mind, produce after the kind. The great law of mind, action, and unity. In other words, the thoughts we have in our head now are the seeds we're planting for our life experience tomorrow. That choice is ours, boys and girls. What thoughts do you want to have? You want to have thoughts of lack? Then guess what you're going to have down the road? Lack. If God is our source, isn't there enough for everybody? Then have thoughts of abundance, and you will be abundantly prosperous down the road. Plant the seeds of the life experience that you want. So if you will, let's start planting some seeds of truth in us right now. Will you please speak this with me together? I am divine. Outstanding. I like the enthusiasm. Keeping with the simple mode, we could have passed a plate during the music because we pretty much are hearing this again. But this is the point. We fill our minds with thoughts of truth. There'll be no room for anything else but truth. And truth will be our life experience. I am the light of the world. Jesus said that. Other spiritual teachers have said it as well. We are divine. We are the light of the world. Will you speak this truth with me as well? Together. I am the light of the world. Okay, now here comes what is sometimes challenging. We're going to set an intention. Yep. Remember now, if we just speak the words, they're just words. The fifth unity action step is action. Action is essential. We must walk the talk or it's meaningless. I will shine big and bright. Not I'm going to shine kind of, maybe, sort of. Or I'm only going to shine on Sundays. I'm going to shine big and bright, period. If you're willing, let's speak this together. I will shine big and bright. Whew, it seems to be working already. My goodness. These are pretty simple affirmations and an intention. And another way to remember them, if you have had multiple concussions like I have, sometimes things I forget, is in a song. So I've changed the title and the words to this song. You know the song that you get in your head and you can't get it out of your head and after a while it becomes irritating? Well, this isn't the intention for this song to be irritating, but it's one to keep your mind busy and full of truth. It is called This Big Bright Light of Mine. I know you know the tune. We've changed the words to protect the innocent, so to speak. So if you're ready. This big bright light of mine, I'm gonna shine. This big bright light of mine, I'm so gonna shine. I am divine, and I'm gonna shine, I'm gonna shine, cause I am divine, I'm gonna shine. Yeah, that was so nice, let's do it twice. This big bright light of mine, I'm gonna shine. This big bright light of mine, I'm so gonna shine. I am divine, and I'm gonna shine, I'm gonna shine, cause I am divine, I'm gonna shine. I'm gonna shine, I'm gonna shine, I'm gonna shine. Yeah. Well done. Boy, geez, I need some sunglasses, it's working. In your bulletin, you had affirmation cards, I hope. Did everybody get one? If you'd be so kind and appease me. Repetition is the name of the game today. I would like to, one more time, plant the seed of truth in you. Would you please read the affirmation card with me together? I am divine. I am the light of the world. I will shine big and bright. Folks, when we do this, when we tell the truth and live it, we create the life we want to live. And when we collectively tell the truth and live it, we create the world we want to live in. So what do you say? Let's tell the truth and live it. Let's take a moment, if you will, and take a big breath, and we'll take some of this truth inside in a time of meditation. Yes, it's the breath. The breath that takes away fear, because fear is excitement without the breath. We breathe into the truth of us, that we are bright, radiant lights, that we are the light of the world, that we are divine, and we fill our minds with truth, knowing it to be true. We step into this truth, we claim it to be true, and we live it in all that we think, say, and do. May this truth free you to be all you are meant to be. Peace be still. Peace be still.
Be your divine self. That's what this is all about. Be yourself. Be yourself. Be yourself. Your divine self. You know we're all on the spiritual path. We might think there's somewhere to get to, somewhere where it's at. But we don't need to reach for that star. What we're searching for is who we really are. Be yourself. Be yourself. Be yourself. Your divine self. You already have everything you need. Divine love, wisdom, and power for eternity. You can be yourself, you can set yourself free. Everything you need is provided by divinity. Be yourself. Be yourself. Be yourself. Your divine self. And let your brothers and sisters be their real selves too. Let our divine selves play and see what we can do. One divine self expressing in our own unique way. Hey, let's let the God times roll. Let's go out and play. Be yourself. Be yourself. Be yourself this morning. Your divine self. Scuba-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. It's all waiting for you. Yourself, myself, ourselves. Oh, let's go out and play and see what we can do. Be yourself. Be yourself. That's right. Let's go and play.